Hey YouTube, K-Knight23, the video game professor here with my first impression of the expansion for Star Wars Online The Knights of the Fallen Empire. Although you can download and play Star Wars Online for free, access into this expansion is going to require a subscription fee of $14.95. If at any time your subscription lapses, the content will be cut off faster than a New York National Socialist can say, "No soup for you!" But honestly, you can probably play through what is currently available within 1 month, or really 1 weekend. Knights of the Fallen Empire is currently live with 9 out of 16 planned chapters where, much like a Telltale game, the story remains to be written. As I said, those 9 chapters won't take you very long to plow through, several hours at most. When you're finished, you'll have daily and weekly quests or challenges and not much else. The strength of the positives, however, make this worth checking out, so on to the positives. The voice acting is superb. It always has been with this game. They spent a lot of time and money, and it came out phenomenal. Coupled with the better character animations, facial reactions, and increased cinematic presentation, you really feel like you're playing through a Star Wars movie. Quick disclaimer. Someone thought it would be a good idea to actually cut a lot of the voice acting out in the 9th chapter to bring back the black top and bottom bars on your screen, third-person camera, and complete lack of character voice for side quests and missions. It's like something straight out of Knights of the Old Republic. Now, you get more dialogue options, but I found the sudden transition to be pretty jarring. But anyway, the action's very fast-paced. Almost every part of the game has been retooled or edited for a more streamlined and fluid experience, and for the most part it works pretty well. As a Sith Marauder, I felt every bit as powerful as I'd always imagined these Dark Knights would be, as I cut through enemies like a lightsaber through the underbelly of a tauntaun. Despite the immediate power rush I felt in the opening chapters, the complete lack of challenge made me start wishing that those chains I broke through victory were a little more secure. The only time I died was when I wanted to see if I could defeat an encounter without using anything with a cooldown. As it would turn out, that is, in fact, the only way you do die. As long as you button mash your hotbar, you'll probably be okay. Stand in the fire if you want. No need to interrupt enemy casting. Just button spam your way to victory. Part of what makes this possible is the apotheosis of your companions. Your companions prior to the expansion are missing in action, replaced by new friends, first of all, but the change to companions affects those with and without the X-Pack. Frankly, they're all demigods now. Every companion can be assigned a role, like tank or heal or damage. As long as you're outside of combat, you can change it on the fly. They're beasts. I've never seen a tank companion health dip below 50%. But more on this later. What we need to talk about is the story. So we've come to expect a lot of great storytelling from Star Wars The Old Republic, and the writers did not disappoint. The narrative delivered to the players is the best I've seen in the life of this game, and will surely be memorable for other fans as well. Each chapter has almost a half hour of cutscenes that are beautifully animated and shot, with only a few instances of weird angles and obstructions by capes and titanic pauldrons. Although the powerful momentum of these early chapters starts to peter off until a climactic end, there's an eagerness to consume the content from a simple desire to see the story play out, which is refreshing for someone like me who usually races through expansions to gear up and hit the new raid scene. Thank the 5 for that, considering there really isn't a new raid scene, which brings us to more negative criticism. This isn't an expansion for an MMO. This is a single-player experience through and through. You will rarely see other players. Playing with friends is more of a chore than a shared experience, as most of the content is unique and locked to a single player. If you're looking for something more like Mass Effect than massively online, then you'll dig this expansion. Otherwise, you'll be disappointed, just like I was with how they marketed and delivered choice and consequence. No matter how many times in-game characters and the game's advertisers warned me that my friends will die, I've only seen one person bite it in a sadly anticlimactic way. The character's death isn't even certain, but I won't go into any spoilers. Now, maybe I'm just the wisest leader in the galaxy, because I played through the first 9 chapters twice, making some radically different choices, but saw no real diversity when it came to the body count. So let's talk about those hard decisions. This game fully operates under the illusion of choice. This game isn't a sandbox. It isn't non-linear. This game is a theme park. You go on all the rides in a certain order, but you get to pick which seat you want to be on. Now, maybe sitting up front gives you a slightly different experience. Maybe sitting in the back is more fun for you. Either way, start to finish, your destiny is written in stone. Now, I'm not sure why I expect it to be any other way. Well, maybe their aggressive marketing of real choices and real consequences had something to do with it, but the consequences thus far are completely superficial. That's not to say when Chapter 10 comes around, shit won't just hit the fan and everyone will die, because I am in fact the worst leader in the galaxy, but it's not likely. The decisions you make are pretty binary. Either you're an asshole or you aren't. The game tells you if a certain character is being intrigued, or amused, or appalled, or some other synonym for like or dislike, but what that means and what effect it has, it completely remains to be seen. Playing through the chapters a second time destroyed the illusion for me. Up until then, I doubted that my choices would completely change the galaxy, but there was hope. There was a chance. I could hold on to my suspension of disbelief a little longer, but no. Playing through a second time messed that up for me. And now for you. Sorry. The development team only has so much money, and as I said, they can't really let their story go off the rails here, because at the end of the day, they have a story they want to tell within the new canon, and goddammit, you're going to like it. Honestly, though, you probably will. But then, what kind of a game is this? We've established that the combat is fun, but the streamlining has made it trivial. Really, there are a few people I can think of that would have a hard time with any of the encounters. Even my toddler would probably do pretty well. Whenever she can reach my keyboard, she demonstrates the level of button mashing that would see her through this expansion from beginning to end. She might have trouble steering her character through the hallways, but even they are pretty linear, so I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. The gear you gain is irrelevant, crafting during the story doesn't matter, there's no group content. This is pretty much the most elaborate QuickTime event game ever made. For the most part, it's cool. I feel like I got my $14 worth. For an expansion that plays like a movie, it cost less and ran longer than a trip to the cinema, and was probably more entertaining than anything I've seen in the cinema this year. When the next few chapters come out, I'll probably resub and play through them the same way I binge through most television shows. If you already love Star Wars The Old Republic, you're going to love Knights of the Fallen Empire. If you're not sure how you feel about Star Wars The Old Republic, you will probably still like Knights of the Fallen Empire. But if you're looking for a new MMO, a new challenge, or something to conquer, either alone or with friends, then move along. This is not the expansion you were looking for. If you liked the video, please be sure to click that thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you're going to check this game out or if you're going to avoid it. And let me know what you'd like me to review and play for next week. Alright guys, this is K-Knight23, the Video Game Professor, signing out. May the Force be with you.